And also remember, this is a developer build of the game, so there may be bugs and little things that happen, but I think we should kind of get into the gameplay because that's what we want.
We should. The bugs are just part of the fun of it, right?
Let's do what's Angela, let's like please repeat. So let's take a look at the autumn. So I think best things to let you guys do is kind of talk. What is the car that we've got?
So yeah, we're in a different player house from last week, and we have got a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. He read from the top of the screen. What Andy just did there is he applied one of the new off-road body kits that we have brought to the game in Forza Horizon 4. I am reliably informed there are about 12 of them in the game that you can apply to some of the more extreme off-road vehicles that are great for the world of Forza Horizon. And Andy is sporting one of them now as he leaves his house with little care for property damage, and we are in the Highlands. We're in the north of the map, which we haven't really shown anyone yet, in an area of the world that's kind of bits of beautiful Scotland, right?
Yeah. So there's two specific areas that we used as reference. So there's Glencoe, which people don't know, like Google that place. It's an incredible looking part of the world, amazing vistas, so it was a real obvious choice for us in terms of location selection. But there's also a place called Rannochmore, which again is another Scottish location. So this is a bit of a mashup of those two areas, which we've sort of selected the best bits from and created this section of the map.
It looks stunning.
Yeah, and also you'll notice we wanted to show you guys something about the verticality that we've hinted at before when it comes to this particular part of the this particular game, especially versus what we had in Horizon 3. So we really listened to the community. We knew that the guys wanted something that had a bit more verticality associated with it. That's a barn find right there as well.
No, I was just thinking.
Spoilers, yeah, that's where that guy is.
The first one, if you need to find, if you're obsessed with finding all the barn finds, they're in Horizon 4, and that's
Who built that at the top of a mountain? It makes.
Where else would you put one?
This guy. This guy, yeah.
Lives there. Yeah, and as Ben was saying, like much more vertical world than I think we've ever built before, which is great when you're showing off the Scottish Highlands and the Lake District. It really benefits from it, and I know our fans have been asking for more mountains, more mountain roads, switchbacks, and certainly this game delivers them, which is wonderful.
Well, it's great with off-road vehicles as well. And I remember last week you promised something to the viewers, right? You said it's going to happen. All right, and it's taking a look at the world map for the first time because you see it; it's a huge world. Like, can you talk us?
It is a huge world, yeah. So we're going to show by popular demand the world map. So that's where we are, sort of northeast of the world. And as we move south, we're down into the sort of Lake District, which we showed you quite a lot of last week. You can see, I think this is a pretty full map. I think I'm right in saying that we've kind of unlocked a lot of stuff that's on the map there, and people will see, I think, the things that they're looking out for. I know a lot of people were asking about the Goliath and whether it was going to return. If you notice there, it has. A really cool thing I think we've done this time is, as well as the Goliath, we have a bunch of really massive routes. There's the Gauntlet, there was the, I've forgotten the name of the other one, the Titan is there as well. So there's lots of really big routes for people who like big routes in Horizon games, which is great.
And there's Edinburgh.
And Edinburgh, yeah.
Yeah, which we're going to see. Also, there's loads of comments as well, because one of the big things I've noticed is trees. Right, so Ben, you'll be happy people agreeing with you in the comments. Are you lusty gaming? I love trees, Ben.
Great.
So you've got loads of tree lovers
It's
across
not just me. It's not just me.
I don't blame you. They do look incredible as well. But we're actually getting up to a bit that I think everyone gets really excited about in Horizon 4. It's a big part of the game, showcases. So Ben is going to leave us for a little bit now.
Yep.
And we're going to be joined by Aaron, who's going to talk us through showcases. So thank you very much for talking to us about trees, Ben. But thank you, Aaron, for joining us. And can you just tell us a little bit about showcases in Horizon 4?
Yeah, certainly. So for those people that don't know what showcases are, they've been a pillar of the Horizon games up until this point. And what we've done in Horizon 4 is push them to the next level with what we've got, using what Ben mentioned earlier in terms of like the verticality compared to Horizon 3. It's going to make a big difference.
No, I'm pretty excited as well because I've always wanted to know, is one of the things, what's kind of your thought process of kind of going into making these showcases?
Well, we always say at the start of a Horizon game, and definitely at the start of Horizon 4, like, where do we go with the showcases? You know, how can we top what we did last time? I think we had some great showcases in Horizon 3. And there was some head scratching at the start of Horizon 4, like, what can we do? I think that the showcases we've got in the game, and we showed one at E3, we're going to show another one now, and I don't think we're going to show any more until the game is out, and we'll allow people to find them for themselves. But I think that the showcases we've got in this game are just spectacular, and you said earlier, like, they turned the whole formula up to 11. As I think we'll see now with the Behemoth.
Right, let's get into it. I'm kind of, because I saw a little bit of this earlier, and I was like, kind of, I think it's the first reaction you always have. You just kind of like scream, like, whoa. It's like when when like the music kind of hits.
So presumably nobody knows exactly what we're going to be racing just yet, and it's revealed here in this sort of pre-race cinematic. And obviously, at the top of a mountain in Scotland, it is a hovercraft.
It is a hovercraft, the perfect natural habitat of the hovercraft. So showcases are quite challenging from like a dev point of view, and like this one, we spend months on them really, and they go around like all the different teams. So from working on it, I'll go away and then come back to it, and VFX have been on it, or cinematics have done some bits at the start of the race and stuff. So it changes as it goes on, and with all of that, it's really. It is really a team effort for these big showpiece events that we have.
It must be really exciting with seasons as well, just kind of like seeing them. So, right, shall we kind of get straight into it? Don't crash this time, Andy. Right, right, there's the. Right. Also, guys, remember, if you have any questions about showcases, do drop them in the chat as we kick this one off. Right, so do you want to talk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. So we've started up at the top of the mountain, as we saw, and we're coming down into this beautiful valley. Big slow-mo jump there towards the viaduct. We had a previous route for this, was down by the lakes, which is the general direction we're heading. But in true Horizon style, there wasn't enough.
It wasn't down a mountain.
It needed some extra special sauce on it, and throwing a hovercraft and this wonderful Toyota truck down the mountain.
Because I think we've all thought at one point, what would it be like to race a hovercraft
exactly.
down the mountain? Exactly. And now we get to find out. Bit of inside baseball, actually. The hovercraft was actually, we built it for Horizon 3, and we had an idea for a showcase using it in that game, which we just never really got it to work, I guess, is the thing. And it was really only when we sort of started playing. Oh, that's nice. When we started like playing around with it in this world, again, you know, like around this sort of area of the world in particular, that it started to really come together, and obviously making it smash through lots of stuff, that worked as well.
Being the size of what it is, and how hovercrafts move around, they do drift a lot, which is going to prove a bit of a challenge for a player, as most of the showcases in previous games have been, say, like planes, or you've either been like them flying over the top of you, whereas this is actually like front and center. It's right in the race route with you.
It's reacting, yeah.
Which is another thing to deal with.
It's just wrecking absolute havoc.
Which is a shame, because we're coming down to, thanks to your 360.
Right.
Cool. Have we? Excellent.
Right, so remember this, guys, this is a developer building the game, so we will kind of just get straight back into the gameplay. But I think it's actually a good opportunity to talk a bit more about Showcase, because previous games, it's been one of the biggest features of the game. It's like something that everyone's got really excited about. What's kind of with Horizon 4, we've talked about kind of expanding those. What's kind of the next things that you kind of want to do with the Showcase with seasons?
So there's I think I'm right in saying there's a showcase for every season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously, you know, different ones make use of different seasons. And what we're going to do as part of our post-launch. Is that for you, that note, or is that for...
Do you want to throw
it's
me
for
the
Andy,
controller?
I
Do you want to throw
think.
me the controller?
Yeah, certainly.
Right, here we go. I can do this while we chat.
So Braden is asking, why is there a hovercraft on a mountain? That is a perfectly reasonable question.
Well, when you can tell us, is this just like a regular occurrence when going around the Scottish Highlands? It's kind of like seeing a hovercraft like kind of go flying down.
Being from Scotland, I can confirm that happens it happens a lot.
Why not?
Oh, indeed.
Why not? This is Horizon, so...
So we are just turning off our notifications so that hopefully that doesn't happen again. Yeah.
Right, here we go. This is what. Right. We're switching boxes. It works.
Yeah, but to your question earlier, another thing that we're going to be doing post-launch, and we've been talking a little bit about this, is continue to update the game with new things, with twists on existing gameplay, on that sort of monthly cadence, which comes from having seasons lasting a week each, and therefore a full year lasting pretty much a month. And one of the things we're going to do with the showcases, I think, is kind of remix them post-launch so that you can play them a bunch of different ways, different times of day, different season, different vehicles, and really sort of get more challenge and more value out of these events.
Yeah, it's like the one we saw at E3 as well with the bikes. Is there was that thread the needle moment? Is there like other bits and pieces like that we can expect as well? Because that was really exciting, even though
there is
it
honestly
crashed.
some nut stuff coming up in showcases, but kind of like I said at the top, I feel like having given away 2 of them pre-launch is enough.
I mean, just kind of ease back. Let players find and discover themselves. Because
there's legit one showcase in there which I think will blow people's minds. Nobody is going to be expecting it, but kind of the fun of it is waiting for people to experience that themselves at launch.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tease as well. It's just like, we've got one that will absolutely blow you away, but you'll have to wait until 28th of September if you've got the Ultimate Edition, and then the 2nd of October.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, if you've got Xbox Game Pass or release of the game.
There's a question there actually that I want to take about soundtrack from Makusha. I've been asked this question a lot on Twitter as well. I feel like we need to speak to it. The situation with soundtrack is that it gets worked on really right to the last minute. Basically, there's a lot of moving parts going into Horizon soundtrack, which is why we always generally announce it around about launch date, and that's what we'll be doing this time. Obviously, we're playing with music off. So that's the situation with music. Stay tuned on that one. Obviously, music remains an incredibly important part of Horizon. Our soundtrack is shaping up really well, and we'll announce it later.